Okay, welcome everybody to this concurrent session of the World Potato Council. My name is Zoe Henderson. I have the pleasure of being an independent board member of the Potato Council here in the UK. I will be the chair for this session. We have two outstanding speakers for this particular session. Our first speaker will be Ronnie Bartlett, who is the Managing Director of Bartlett, a leading supplier of potatoes in the UK, a family business established back in 1948. Ronnie will be exploring the global trends for food in 2012, and very importantly, he will be looking at how you can capitalize on those trends within the potato business world. Our second speaker will be Nick Vermont. He is the regional CEO for McCain Foods. Again, a long-established company from 1957, a global company, who along with Ronnie's business, both these businesses truly are thinking globally and winning locally. Nick will talk on health and sustainability and really look into these issues and how they can be tackled in today's global potato industry. We're short on time, so I'm going to hand straight over to Ronnie to talk on Food 2012. Ronnie Bartlett.
Thanks, Zoe. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May I firstly welcome you to Scotland and here to Edinburgh. As you know, we Scots have something of a reputation for being a bit canny with our money. But I hope your time in this glorious city proves that the opposite is true, and that you get a chance to sample some of our great Scottish hospitality. Welcome. When I accepted the invitation to speak at the World Potato Congress, I had visions of Las Vegas, Beijing, or even Auckland, not a 35-minute drive down the M8 motorway. Just my luck. Today, I want to cover three things. Firstly, a small advert for the Bartlett business and how we have arrived here today. Secondly, and more seriously, and much more importantly, my concerns for our industry. And finally, the journey we have taken over the last 10 years in an attempt to doing things a little differently by being brave, innovative, and different. My grandfather, Albert, started the business in 1948, along with his sons, Alex, my father, and my uncle Jimmy. A good Scottish name, although this generation came from Ireland. They boiled beetroot in a tin bath in a shed at the bottom of their garden. Very humble beginnings. The business quickly started supplying wholesale markets, and potatoes were added on to the product list. By the time they entered the swinging 60s, and carrots and onions were added to the product list, and the innovative streak we have always possessed was shown for the first time. We became the first company in the UK to pack carrots into polythene bags and moving into our new pack house. In the 70s, our customer base had grown to supply local supermarkets. And by the 80s, our business model was based on national supermarket supply. It was at this time my cousin, brothers, and I took over the business. Not a very good-looking bunch, are we? In the 90s, we expanded our business and invested in our growing and packing infrastructure. Our growth was really focused on strong relationships with two retailers, Safeway and Summerfield. In the late 90s, we probably took the biggest ever gamble and began the process to design and build our current head office and main packing facility in Airdrie, our hometown. The site opened for business in 2002, and that was followed by our Jersey packhouse in 2010. I now own and manage the Albert Bartlett business, which includes 2 packing sites on the mainland UK, 1 in the island of Jersey, and 2 international sales offices, one in Paris and the other in Denver. We have come a long way in the last 65 years, but our core values remain the same: to grow, pack and sell the best potatoes we can. So, that is us. As I said earlier, I would like to talk to you about our challenges. Back in 2000, 2 major retail accounts delivered 95% of our turnover. It's scary to say, but neither of those 2 supermarkets exist today. And I'm extremely grateful that we rethought our approach to selling and marketing potatoes. It was around this time we started to have real concerns about the challenges that faced us. People were eating fewer potatoes. For a variety of reasons, our industry was losing out to rice, pasta, and other convenience foods. We came up with 3 main reasons, but I'm sure there were many more. Firstly, and probably the hardest one to admit, we had allowed ourselves to be pushed into developing and selling varieties which looked good on shelf, but tasted terrible. In achieving great-looking spuds, we lost the sight of the most crucial element of selling food: taste. A groundbreaking eureka moment. We should sell food that tastes good. Secondly, our industry failed to deliver consistency or convenience, and therefore the fresh sector lost out to processed products and other grocery categories. And finally, health. The consumer was bombarded and confused and often completely turned off. Because of Atkins and other diets which followed, the potato went from being seen as a wholesome addition to supper to a fattening carbohydrate, and that has put us on the back foot. Any one of these challenges would be difficult enough, but all 3. We knew we needed to do something different. We felt we needed to engage directly with the consumer, something we had previously relied on retailers to do for us. We needed to up our game. Simply, we needed better tasting varieties and to attract people back to the fixture. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. A lot of people in our industry just accept the loss of trade, but not us. We knew if we could deliver added value for the customer, we would automatically deliver added value for our retailers and our growers. So where should we start? The first thing we needed was better varieties. Varieties that were bred for taste first and functionality second. The variety we identified was Rooster, already proven in Ireland, and we felt it was special because as well as tasting great, it was versatile and consistent. That has been the basis for how all our varieties work. Taste, taste, taste. The second thing we needed was consistency. Pick any supermarket. A customer buys a bag of potatoes 1 week, takes them home, and they do exactly what they want. The next week, they buy the same bag, cook them in exactly the same way, and they're a complete disappointment. Why? Because it's often a different variety, one of our multiple options on a long-approved variety list. The customer is disappointed because in their eyes, it was the same product they purchased the previous week, and they should do the same thing. So, the third week, they switch to rice or pasta. Consistency is one of our industry's key challenges. If you buy a can of Coke anywhere in the world, it's the same. Heinz beans, the same. I think you're getting the idea. We have a category of solid foundations. Here in the UK, over 90% of all households buys fresh potatoes. Again, a position many other categories can only dream about. Get the shopper involved and everyone wins. Other categories have educated their customers very successfully, making it more convenient to shop. Bread, cheese, wine, to name a few. Speaking of wine, here in the UK, there's a wine expert in every home. 20 years ago, we only had Blue Nun. Today, the average person is happy to browse the wine category, making choices between grapes, countries, and regions, and using a well-understood language, dry, sweet, Chardonnay, or Merlot, to find their preferred tipple. The supermarket aisle has a multitude of products to fit all meal occasions and tastes. I now wonder if the wine aisle has become slightly overranged and complex, but our fixture is at the other end of the scale. So, how can we help the customer who is always in a hurry to leave the shop to stop and browse potatoes? The Potato Council here in the UK is working on a new classification and a new language to talk to the consumer about potatoes. We badly need it. Andrew Fairley, one of our brand ambassadors, visits schools and colleges to ensure that the core healthy eating messages as early as we deliver them to young kids as early as we possibly can. It's scary when you lift the lid on how little young people actually know about food and where they come from. When Andrew visited this school, half the class didn't know that you could get red potatoes. But even more concerning, they didn't know that French fries were made from potatoes. But they did know they came from KFC. These challenges are as real today as they were then. Taste, consistency, ease of shop, and health. This was the set of challenges that made us embark on the Rooster Road. So, the final part to my talk this afternoon, our journey into branding. When we started to seriously market the Albert Bartlett Rooster brand, we were measured in our approach. Each year, we increased our marketing activity in line with increased crop production. We did, however, need to take some risks against the impact of our marketing activity because, as you know, our products doesn't allow us to buy parts or ingredients. In the beginning, a new variety, you are often limited with volume. You project anticipated demand years before you know if your marketing activity will actually deliver new listings or increased volume. But the great thing about our brand, and the main reason it was successful, is simple. It tastes great and it's versatile. So this was a calculated risk for us, but we were confident bigger campaigns would deliver bigger results for the business. We built the brand by first engaging the foodie audience to generate word of mouth and establish food trends before targeting a more mainstream audience. As we built distribution, we increased crop levels and ramped up above the line spend, predominantly on TV advertising. Our packaging was innovative and different. We appointed brand ambassadors, Michelle Roux of London's famous Le Gavroche restaurant, and Andrew Fairley of Andrew Fairley at Gleneagles, as I mentioned earlier. Our first national press campaign ran in 2005, when Andrew used Rooster for the G8 leaders when they met at Gleneagles, here in Scotland. We then moved on to TV sponsorship, and on seeing the impact that delivered, had the confidence and the crop in 2006 to launch a full national TV ad campaign. We were the first fresh vegetable brand to advertise on UK television. By 2009, we had taken the brand to 9 listings from just 2 in 2003. We wanted to keep the momentum going, so after 18 months of planning, we launched our first celebrity advert. We had convinced Hollywood star Marcia Cross that it was a good idea to become the face of Albert Bartlett. Why? Well, we wanted to appeal to younger consumer and break the mould of what people expect from the potato. The impact of that first Marcia Cross campaign surprised even us, with a huge slice of fun and glamour. We have continued to increase brand value on the 3 years that followed. Let's have a look.
A little grated Parmesan turns mashed roosters into purée alla Parmigiana. A tip from Albert Bartlett, provider of rooster potatoes, sponsor of the Flavour Zone. For smoother, fluffier mash, use a ricer on your roosters. A tip from Albert Bartlett, provider of rooster potatoes and sponsor of the Flavour Zone.
1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato, more. More? 8 potato, 9 potato, 10 potato, 11 potato.
If you'd like to do more with potatoes, pick up a pack of roosters. They're perfect for roasting, mashing, chipping, baking, boiling.
7 potato, 28 potato, 29
Stews,
potato.
soups, sauté, salads, jackets, and more.
Flipping heck. 63 potatoes, 64 potatoes, 77 potatoes, 78 potatoes.
Albert Bartlett Rooster Potatoes. They do more.
Marcia.
Hello.
I have some great news for you.
Really?
Yes, I do. Go away. An ad campaign in Europe.
Ooh, is it a fashion house?
Not exactly.
A luxury brand?
Well, not really luxury, more necessity.
Shampoo.
Nope. Better. Potatoes.
Potatoes?
Not just any potatoes, Albert Bartlett Rooster Potatoes.
You want me to be the face of potatoes?
No, Marcia, they're just like you. Perfect taste, wonderfully versatile. They bake, they roast, they mash, they make great French fries.
No.
You're a perfect cook. It's a great potato, it's a combination.
No.
So you'll think about it. Albert Bartlett Rooster Potatoes. They do more.
Attract, entice, captivate, enthrall, impress. A smoothness like never before. A rich texture you could only dream of. Go red.
Cue, Rooster. The Rooster by Albert Bartlett, the red-skinned potato that bakes, roasts, chips, and much, much more. Albert Bartlett Rooster Potatoes. They're worth it.
What do you think you're doing?
In my opinion, it's these campaigns which have truly established Albert Bartlett as a brand, both in the mindset of the UK consumer and, just as importantly, within the trade. It has also attracted big brand partners to the business. In 2010, we partnered with Disney Pixar for the first time, allowing us to reach young families with kids through a promotion linked to the launch of Toy Story 3. It was Disney Pixar's most successful TV partnership with the launch of a movie in the UK. So, where are we today? Today, the Albert Bartlett Rooster brand is purchased by 30% of the UK households from 12 different retailers. It is listed on the menus of top restaurants and distributed to a wide range of wholesale customers, and has a brand value of £50 million, bigger than Tropicana. We have currently activity in 10 international markets. We are developing yet more, and firmly believe that partnering with like-minded businesses from different markets will open opportunities for all involved. Albert Bartlett Rooster has become the central part, the store cupboard mainstay, which is now supported by other lines, both seasonal and year-round. As a business, we are very fortunate that together with our breeders and farmers, we have introduced 11 commercially successful new varieties in the past 10 years. The process has to start with the consumer. What is she looking for? What can we learn by watching food trends, understanding consumer behaviour, and testing consumer preferences? Start with the consumer and work back from there. We're all looking for the next big thing, but I'm sure that we all agree that we need to avoid new product development for the sake of ticking a box. If or when we take a new product to market, we need to be sure and clear on its purpose and where does it fit in. I believe that fresh potatoes were and still are a sleeping giant of a category. Our products engage emotionally with consumers in a way many other categories can only dream of. All over the world, you all have your favourite potato dishes. Mine is a baked potato. They are tasty, healthy, and versatile. Again, a list of attributes which would turn many category managers green with envy. However, we need to tell people, remind people, particularly the younger generation, potatoes are great. In closing, in many parts of the world, potatoes are being removed from the diet. We all need to work together to reverse this trend and ensure that we don't miss a generation of customers who should be enjoying our products. Remember, we have a product that is still a sleeping giant. I've got something that I'd like to ask you before I go. I have the drive and passion for change. Have you? Thank you for your time.